We are at the Angad Arts Hotel, and the exhibit is called Stories We Are Told, which will be up June 3rd through August 27th. People will see a collection of 25 altered books or book-related artwork. I have been working on this collection for the last 9 months, and it was basically inspired by my discovery that my great-grandfather was brought to St. Louis in 1904 for this thing called the World's Fair. And even though I've lived here for over 20 years, this was kind of a surprise. You know, a lot of people know about the human zoos and the people that were put on display, the indigenous people, but he was part of this program that was established by William Taft, who was the Governor General of the Philippines at the time. The idea was that these children would come to the US and be guides and waiters at the World's Fair in the Philippine Village. They were on display in a different way, and they were supposed to be an example of the possibilities and look how these people can be molded into our image and be, you know, what they'd call them, the little brown brothers. I'm really a painter, and I like to say I'm a multidisciplinary artist, and I just use whatever medium it is that makes sense for the message that I'm trying to convey. So this particular collection is about American imperialism and the occupation of the Philippines, which lasted over 50 years, and how it affected me and my family. At that time, the US had this benevolent assimilation strategy, which was using education to help spread American culture throughout their empire. So that's why I'm using books in this case. I'm using family photographs and painting them over the text of books themselves. I was specifically looking for books that were important to me from my childhood. So books that I actually read and that shaped my experience. I think part of the message for me is understanding how these stories actually shaped not just my childhood, but my way of thinking, like the values that I hold. Little House on the Prairie, I think, is one of my favorites. There was a certain kind of glorification of this pioneer lifestyle and what values went along with that. And then when you think about it, that's all about, you know, Western expansion and the people claiming the land that wasn't theirs. I hope that people can view and enjoy the collection. So many people have a connection to all of these classic Western stories, and think about how those stories may have changed their own thoughts and their own assumptions about the world, and kind of acknowledge that there's power here. And then overlay that with the stories that I'm telling to see kind of that complex relationship between cultures.